folks, welcome to the Bull Ring, a 3/8 mile oval at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, where the U.S. Legends Cars Series have invited Zach and I to try out one of their little race cars here.
Little indeed. This is a 5/8 scale based on kind of like a 1934 Ford Chevy, whatever the heck. They started building these in 1992. They have produced more of these than any other race car in the country.
And it's not really hard to see why. They're very cheap. You can get into one of these and get on the track for under $20,000. They're lightweight. They only weigh about 1,100 pounds. They have 140 horsepower Yamaha motorcycle engine with a sequential gearbox, and they're, according to what the series folks tell us, very cheap to run and race.
Yeah, according to them, you know, distances notwithstanding, it's a couple $100s to enter a race. One set of tires lasts you a whole season.
Right.
Pretty amazing. And it's a spec series, so the engine's sealed. Every car should weigh about the same, even with the drivers, and you know, as long as no one's cheating, which happens.
Right, and our challenge today is even more spec, because both Zach and myself are gonna have a little challenge in the very same car, the Cowboy car. This one is a coupe with sort of a round back body. They also make one in a square back they call a sedan, but other than the body shape, they are the same. And we're gonna do a 5-lap challenge here in the same car and see which of us is quicker on a small oval in a small car. The cars look tiny because they are, but incredibly they're only 1 inch shorter than a road-legal Suzuki Cappuccino. They're 5/8 the size of the 1934 Ford coupes on which they are stylistically based. The chassis are manufactured in North Carolina, and final assembly occurs here in Las Vegas right at the Speedway. The engine is out of the Yamaha FZ09 motorcycle, 900 cc's, and making 125 horsepower, utilizing the bike's 6-speed sequential gearbox. This isn't bad when the car weighs only 1,250 pounds. The cage is serious business, with the rest of the parts meant to break away in a crash. Drivers, ranging from 10 years old to over 50, are broken up by age and ability. We would be in the 40 and over Masters class.
Will someone help me?
First, we had to figure out how you drive these things.
Now pull it back a half touch. You're in neutral right now.
Driving a new race car on track is a fun and exciting experience for me in particular, but it can also be stressful, especially when a pro racer has a big whoopsie right in front of you.
Oh shit.
Good God, what happened there? I remember when
Once you climb in, the rest is easy. The pedals are laid out traditionally, and the brake is set up to be operated by either the left or the right foot. The 6-speed sequential shifts quick. We were told to just leave it in 4th the whole time, which I did not do because shifting is fun.
Well, that's freaking rad.
Set up for oval, it turned left on its own. Our job was to keep our speed and keep it off the wall.
Wow. The speed there, that was quick.
This would be a flying 5-lap run for cumulative time, not a best lap competition, so staying consistent and focused throughout the run is key.
So I'm just gonna do 2 slow, one warm up, a full warm up, and then a flyer.
I see what you're doing. You're getting more practice.
No, 1 warm up and then a flyer. I just don't want to start an ice cold engine. All right?
Yeah, engine's cold, sure.
All right.
Guys, today's video is sponsored by BetterHelp, and I believe me, am an excellent spokesperson for BetterHelp because I have been using talk therapy for over 20 years to talk my way through depression, anxiety, weight issues, substance issues, and more. I go to therapy every single week, and it does actually help me a lot. And maybe it might help you too, but maybe you don't know where to start. Maybe you live in an area where there aren't a lot of therapists that you can relate to. Maybe, especially in the post-COVID times, a lot of the therapists aren't taking new patients. But you know who is? BetterHelp. It's a new kind of talk therapy that is entirely online. All you have to do is go to betterhelp.com/smokingtire, fill out a short questionnaire about your needs and what you're looking to get out of therapy, and then BetterHelp will match you with one of their thousands of licensed therapists. Now, maybe you do have a real issue like depression or anxiety or post-traumatic stress or something like that. Maybe you just need someone outside of your social circle to talk through a tough time in your life with family, relationships, the stress of the holidays, what have you. BetterHelp is there for all of that, the entire spectrum. And if you don't like your therapist for any reason, you can switch at any time for no additional cost. To see if BetterHelp is going to work for you, go to betterhelp.com/smokingtire or hit the link in the video description. And BetterHelp is offering Smoking Tire fans 10% off their first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP/smokingtire. And thanks to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. It is super loud in these cars. I wouldn't even attempt to speak while driving, and it's just as well because I was focused on speed.
So, all right, here we go. Flyer, finish line, best of 5. What's a good lap time here? Like 15 seconds?
What's a good lap time here?
16:9. Wow. This is going to be just over a minute. Matt's wedding night, slightly longer.
The 3/8 mile oval isn't exactly symmetrical, though it looks it. The 2 straightaways are different lengths, and the 2 banked corners have different radiuses. Although the car pretty much steers itself through the corners on the banking, I focused on braking as late as possible, getting as close down to the apron as I could muster without putting 2 tires on the flat stuff, then sending it out wide just inches from the wall. It's part repetition, part finesse, and part bravery, daring yourself to push the car harder than you think possible, while being totally aware that this being my first time in the car, I was nowhere near its actual limits. But still, borrowed race car. As long as I give it back in one piece, I get to drive another borrowed race car some other day.
4 laps, 112, so that's like 18 seconds a lap, right? Final lap. I hope he slows down a lot. I really like to win this, even though I don't deserve to. I got 1:31.18 for total elapsed time. What do you have?
1:30.67.
Yours is probably more accurate because I was waving. So what was yours? 1:30.67.
As always, I crossed the line right as I felt I was getting the hang of it, itching for another go, or better yet, a chance to try one on a road course. But that would have to wait because it was now Zach's turn.
That was a good time.
That was a lot of fun.
That was really fun. I don't want to know what my speed was, but I really started to feel like I was getting the hang of the car, running a decent line. I got pretty close to the wall here a couple times. Little bit of oversteer coming out of this corner. But the car is super fun. It turns in really nice. I would love to see what this thing is like on a road course with a neutral alignment. I bet it would just be unbelievable. But you know, this car on this track, it almost feels like a full-size car on a full-size NASCAR oval. But I mean, the learning curve is so easy. I only did like 7-8 practice laps and then a timed lap, and not that I was every bit as fast as I could possibly go, but in a borrowed car, I was about as fast as I was willing to go.
Well, they said you were very consistent across all the laps.
That's a Farah hallmark.
That's what the family's known for.
That is a Farah hallmark. That's why I make a good teammate on an endurance team, because my laps are always pretty consistent. I'm usually like a little bit off whatever the pros would do, but I'll hit that pretty much every time. But what a fun little car. I mean, it's actually, once you're in it, it's reasonably comfortable, and it's responsive, and the gearbox makes it feel like you're in a real race car. And I am excited to see what you can do, Zack Klapman.
Do you want to know your time?
No.
Okay. All right, I'll jump in.
All right, let's go. And he's just gonna smoke the clutch. It's not his clutch. Yeah. There he goes. He did better than me. So I don't know what my time was, but I had a really good time. And Klapman, he likes to say that I'm a better driver than him. I do have more experience, but the truth is, same car any given day, he could beat me. It's not a given. And in an 1,100-pound car, I weigh almost 100 pounds more than him.
And I needed all the help from Lady Physics I could get. This was my first oval race ever. The morning's crash was still a vivid memory. An accident would hurt my wallet, pride, and bones. But internet glory awaited. The pressure was on.
All right, this is green lap, yeah? I don't know who was like, let's make them look like 40s bootlegger cars, but that's a good idea. Whoever thought of that. He's smooth. He's smooth.
The car's setup was perfect. It slingshot from corners, and my ear almost touched the wall. In his excellent book, Speed Secrets, world-renowned driving coach Ross Bentley says, quote, "Your right foot should always be either on the throttle, even if it's light, or the brakes. Don't waste time doing nothing. You should never be coasting." Which I forgot about. I own that book.
But you know, if you hear that burble, blah, 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 that means he's not pushing it hard enough. That means he's coasting. Right? So you don't want that coast. Yeah, see that? That's a coast. But it looks fantastic. I think the long roof is the way to go. Wagons are cool, right? You want the wagon. But they should make bodies that look like 80s touring cars also. I'd like to see a variety in the field, you know? Looking clean. Shiny side is up. And there's the shutdown. Let's see how he did. Consistency also. The smoking tire is a consistent bunch. You look clean. Clean and consistent.
I had a couple that felt a little slippy on the turn in, but that's okay.
That's good.
I've been here for 12 minutes.
Yeah. Why shouldn't you run your absolute best time?
Now you look happy.
Good. I don't know the time. I
know
didn't
the time?
didn't look. Didn't look. My man was timing. I didn't even look. I was too busy shit talking you. That means he's not pushing it hard enough.
These things are wild.
Yeah, they're a good time, right?
I mean, it's just, they're like so delicate, and you don't know, like you're sliding a little, and you're gripping a little, and then you feel it slide a tiny bit, and it wants to turn left so badly.
I just want one with
God.
like an 80, like a Volvo 850 wagon body on it.
Dude, I'm all about this Gatsby stuff.
No, this one too. I was saying I like this this bootlegger vibe.
Yeah, it's like Dick Tracy's child.
And your run looked very clean. And the only thing I know about it was homie just nodded and said consistent.
I like that. You know what I also like? That it's here on all four wheels. It's not on the wall.
I would say the shiny side is up, except it's not so shiny.
Oh,
but it's up. It's upright.
Good patina.
Yeah, it does. The cowboy car has had a life before today. All right, same car, same track, same day. It is time to find out who was the better oval driver, me or Zack Klapman. Graham from Legends, behind the camera, knows the time. Who's faster?
All right, Matt, you're gonna end up being the winner here.
Yeah.
By 4 seconds.
Oh,
4 seconds.
Whoa.
4 seconds total across all 5 laps.
So all right, so 3/4
Yeah.
of a second a lap. So Zack, your foot needs to be down a little further.
Right, I should probably take an open racing school like you did.
And how did our lap times, Graham, compared to what like people who know what they're doing would drive here?
We got one right over here. This
National
is
champion.
one of our champions right here.
Okay.
So how did their lap times compare to
how do we look?
your normal everyday?
So Matt ran a 1796 is his best. Typically around this racetrack, fast drivers will run 16.8, 16.9.
Okay, so there's room there. But I got 14 laps. So I think if I had a full day, I might be able to make up some of that difference.
Yeah, this is
Also-
a very new experience. This is unlike any kind of driving we've done
All right.
before, any kind of car we've driven before. I mean, if we got in a sports car that felt like this, we'd think the alignment's broken.
That's true.
It just wants to turn
it
left.
does want to turn left. All right, so first day, let's call it decent and respectable. And
Damn, are these exciting.
yeah.
The price of entry is good.
Yeah.
The consumables are like $200 a weekend.
Yeah, cheap,
yeah.
light, fun, and I'm faster than you still.
Not surprising. For now.
And remember, always fight your tickets. Use code TST10 on the Off the Record app available in the Android and iOS store, or go to offtherecord.com/TST.